Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be going into the Tekton website and checking out a few items I don't believe are worth purchasing from Tekton. So if you guys follow the channel, you guys might know that in the past I've released 2 videos on tools I believe are still worth purchasing from Tekton. And I also have a part 1 to this video where I go over some tools I don't believe are worth purchasing from Tekton anymore. If you guys follow the channel, you guys might also know that I've been buying and, basically following Tekton for the past 10 years, and I've watched them in their upgrades and changes and improvements over the years, but I've also watched their pricing not just increase due to inflation and manufacturing, but there's something else where some of the tools have just taken a huge price increase. And I get that they've put a lot of work into this, but some of the items just aren't worth it to me. Some of them all around, I don't think a lot of people should purchase, and then some are subjective just depending on what your occupation is, what you would get use out of them. Like in my previous video, the modular toolboxes, the stackable ones, it's for a very select group of people where I don't think a lot of people would get a lot of use out of it for the price, but I do know that there are a lot of occupations out there that could still get some use out of it. So it's very subjective, but with the ones that I'm going to show you today, I am going to show you some alternatives as to why I don't think these are worth the purchase. So in no way, shape, or form do I think Tekton's a bad company. They're one of my favorites of all time, and I will continue to buy from Tekton from now until, it's just not affordable anymore. They have fantastic tools, and for a majority of them, a fantastic price. They have a fantastic warranty, basically the best warranty that you could hope for, especially for a company that basically just sells online. You used to be able to pick them up at Meyer. Now that's not available there anymore. So for a tool company that's basically just sold online, they have a fantastic warranty. They also have a great rewards program that's free to sign up. You get rewards points. You can save money on every purchase that you make on the Tekton website. Definitely a good one to consider when looking at buying tools. Tekton is always one that I check out first and then proceed to do my research into other brands and offerings for that tool that I'm in need of. So the first one up is their newer universal joint impact sockets. And in no way, shape, or form do I think these are bad sockets or bad quality or they did a bad job on them. I think the pricing on them is bad. And they have really good offering here, huge selection. So this specific set is from 8 to 19. This is going to be like your common size set. When you look at other brands, this is basically what you're going to find when looking at a 3/8 drive impact version of these sockets. So another thing that I love about Tekton is they go into a ton of detail on every single product that they release. So here you can see that they've went with the design that's a reduced height. This is showing universal socket compared to a universal joint with a socket, the height difference and savings that you'll get there. But that also depends on kind of your needs, because there are a lot of situations where you may need that extra length, and that's why they make a lot of these sets universal sockets in a shallow, and some companies will offer a mid-length and then some offer a deep well, and that's all awesome, except for if you need all 3 of those, that can get quite expensive. Just these shallow ones are $125 for this set, and it's a 12-piece set. So just imagine if you needed that. Tekton doesn't offer a mid-length or a deep well, at least not as of right now, but you're looking at, almost $400 if you needed all 3 shallow, mid-length, and deep well. And that's if you just keep it with this kind of more common sizes available, 8 through 19. If you wanted the larger set that goes above 19 or possibly below 8, the price just goes up from there. And so I do like the design, right out the gate, they just released the shallows. That's always a good, way to start. I have no idea if they plan on going mid-length or deep well, but this is what most people are going to be looking for. These offer a 30-degree working angle, and there are pinned versions of universal sockets, and then there's pinless. Here's an example of the pinned ball version. It usually has a sleeve around the top of the base of the socket, this base portion at the top of it. That's kind of confusing. And then there's a pin that actually holds this inside. And then they have a pinless forelug, which kind of has this Phillips head almost looking design here. And then they decided to go with the pinless 6-sided ball Our solid ball and socket style joint is stronger than joints that use pins. 6-sided ball operates more smoothly than the 4-lug designs. So here you can kind of see the assembly. I mean, they go over a lot. And then just like all of their other sockets designed to prevent rounding off, and there you can see where the pressure is applied to the socket, not just in the corners on the fastener. They are 6-point, 2 size markings, so they are going to be laser and stamped. There you can see your detent pinhole and made in Taiwan. So I think they've done a good job. I think it's a very popular tool that a lot of people really enjoy using. Sometimes it's just a lot handier than putting a socket on a universal joint and dealing with it that way. But you have to look at it at a cost point as well. Getting into the professional field, these universal sockets are going to be a much more popular option, not as popular in the DIY weekend warrior kind of home use situation, because a lot of times you can just pick up a universal joint, impact universal joint for, $6-10, and it's going to save you a ton of money, and you can just throw whatever impact socket you want on there and be done with it. But even as a weekend warrior DIYer, if you do a decent amount of work, a set like this can be great, but it doesn't need to cost you $125. The other thing I will mention real quickly is a lot of the Tekton impact sockets are actually chrome vanadium. Even after they did the upgrade a few years back on their just normal impact sockets, they stuck with chrome vanadium over switching to chromoly. But their swivel universals are actually chromoly. Here you can see the base chromoly, and the ball socket portion is chromoly. So I will give them that at least they've upgraded to the chromoly for these new universal or newer universal sockets. But then you have these, and these are very popular and not even on sale right now. These are the Astroneumatic 78344. It's a 10-piece set, 3/8 drive. So you are losing out on the 8 and 9 millimeter. But when it comes to 3/8, I think 10 is about as small as I go anyways. Maybe every once in a while I'd use 8 or 9. But is it worth the extra $65, basically? $64 for those two sockets? No, absolutely not. I don't think so. These are a pinless, and as you can see looking down in here, if I maybe move this so you guys can see a little bit better since it's behind my head, this is the same 6-sided ball design that you see in the Tekton. It is not the 4-lug or anything like that. It is the 6, laser engraved very largely on both the socket portion and the base portion, both pinless. They're going to come on that little aluminum rail, and they are chromoly with a lifetime warranty. Now, I will say Tekton's warranty is probably going to be the better warranty. Next up is actually a tool that I own from Tekton and have been very pleased with it. And in no way, shape, or form do I think this, once again, is a bad tool. I think this is a fantastic tool. Tekton is the first brand that I used a split beam torque wrench from, or owned. I guess I had used a split beam in the past, but I never owned one until I got one from Tekton. And I've had it for a few years now, probably four, maybe 5 years, basically when they first released it. And one thing I will say is they've upgraded it, because when I got mine, it's a 60 tooth. It is not a 72 tooth. So they did end up switching it to a 72 tooth. Really good design. You have a slight angle. It is a flex head. And the split beam's nice because you don't have to set it to 0 when you store it away. It's not going to have that spring memory or anything like that. The click style, it is still a click style, but the click feels different than if all you've ever used is just your standard click style. The click does feel different. It's not the same. It's almost like spring steel that snaps. It's a different feeling than your normal click style. I don't know how else to put it. But it still feels good. It's very noticeable, and they are very accurate. I really enjoy mine. But when you start looking around, it's just not the best deal available. And I'm not saying you're going to get a lesser quality item and save money. I'm saying you can get the same quality item or better for basically the same price. So once again, they go over a ton of information on all of them. They are certified for their calibration. There you can see the internal and how they actually operate. And there's the angle that you get on it. You get basically 10 degrees of angle. So it's not a whole lot, but it's enough to keep the accuracy and still get your tool out of the way of some obstructions. So they are made in Taiwan, as you can see down here, and then the dimensions right here. But the icon, the 1/2 inch, same torque rating, same design, split beam, at 139, so $5 cheaper. And if you have a Harbor Freight that's, you know, close to you, this may be more of a convenient thing for you. It comes packaged really nicely, plus or minus 4 degrees clockwise, 40 to 250. Flex head allows up to 15 degrees of rotation, so this one may have a little bit more angle to the head. And then this is a 90 tooth design. So you're getting a 90 tooth, you're getting a little bit more flex to the head, the same accuracy, same torque rating, coverage for a little bit cheaper. So I think Icon actually has the better deal here. I think they're both quality split beam torque wrenches. I just think Icon has the better deal here. Now, if you don't have a Harbor Freight close to you, are you going to be disappointed with the Tekton one if you're looking for a split beam? No, I don't think so. I've enjoyed mine for, you know, whatever it's been, 5 years or so. It's done really well and it's very accurate. I'm just stating that there are some other options out there that are of the same quality that you can get a little bit better features or better pricing on. This one has a couple additional better features and a better price. So there's a plus there. If you want to spend the extra money, Precision Instruments does have the split beam style, and this is at $191, not on sale. I'll try and have this link down in the description for you guys as well. Here is the part number above my head. This has 4.8 stars with 1,406 ratings, so it is rated very highly and rated a lot. As far as information, this one is actually going to be made in the USA, so for just, you know, $45 more than the Tekton one, you can get one made in the USA. The only thing that I don't like is that I don't know what the tooth count is on this, but you're getting the same design, the same style of torque wrench, but one that's made in the USA. As you can see there, it's cut off, but it does state USA up there. All around, I think both Icon and Precision Instruments are a good option, and I think Tekton is as well. I just think that it's worth doing your research when it comes to some of them. So then, just like at the beginning of the video, we went over their Impact universal sockets. They do have their Chrome universal sockets, which are fantastic. I absolutely love Chrome universal sockets. They're much more affordable than Impact ones. Granted, they're not Impact rated, but they're just so handy. These have a much lower profile and just work really well. I don't have the Tekton set, but this one does go from 6 to 14 millimeter. It's weird that a lot of the time Tekton has, maybe they made these before they made the switch to basically all their 1/4 inch drive stuff covers at least to 15 millimeter now. So this one does still only go to 14 millimeter. They do have other size sets available and combo sets and everything, but this is their most common size coverage for their 1/4 inch drive in metric, 6 to 14, no skips. There, once again, you can see the height difference from using a universal to a universal joint with a shallow socket to just the universal socket. They can work at a much higher angle than your Impact ones usually. Same design as far as the 6-point, you know, all that information is shared. Really good stuff, but there are tons of sets out there of the same quality range that is going to cost you much less. So this one is $78. I mean, this is rough. That's more than what we were paying for the Astro-Pneumatic Impact 3/8 drive. So this is a 9-piece set. That was a 10-piece set. So I don't know where this pricing is coming from, but I think this is a really bad price for a Chrome universal socket set. Once again, not saying there's anything wrong with this tool. There's just tons of other options for a really good price. This is one that I've had for probably close to 8 years and have had zero issues with, and these are some of my most commonly used sockets, honestly. Interior trim work, panel removal, things like that. These universal sockets are my go-to. This is a 12-piece set, 1/4 inch drive, 6-point, so you get more coverage in this one for half the price. The Tekton one was $75. This one is just under $40, not on sale, and you have much larger coverage. And I've had this one, like I said, for probably close to 10 years, and it has done very, very well. Now, if warranty is something that you guys are like super worried about, maybe some of you guys can justify double the cost for these Tekton sets. I just don't. I would actually, if I had issues with this, I'd rather just almost buy a whole nother set and have 2 sets of these. compared to the Tekton set. So unfortunately, while I do love Tekton and their products, their quality, their warranty, there are some products that they have available that just aren't worth the price anymore, at least to me. But it is subjective depending on what you do for a living or what you plan on using these tools for, and the convenience factor of whether you're close to a Harbor Freight, whether you want to deal with a warranty for a company like this, or if you just want to have that easy warranty from Tekton. There are things to take into consideration. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys haven't checked out my previous videos on other tools that you should buy from Tekton and other tools that you should not buy from Tekton, I have 3 other videos prior to this going over others that I've talked about. So go ahead and check those out. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you guys haven't, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.